So this whole lesson is on multiplying polynomials, and each example we're just looking at multiplying a different combination of polynomials. So in this one, how can we multiply a trinomial that has 3 terms with a binomial that has 2 terms? So part A, how can we use a table to find that product? So if you notice, this table has different dimensions than the tables we had in our previous example. That's because if you're multiplying a trinomial that has 1, 2, 3 terms, I'm going to need 1, 2, 3 boxes to represent each term. Our binomial has 2 terms, so here's my 1, 2 boxes to represent that. So we've done this before. We're just going to fill in the first trinomial, that x squared plus 2x minus 1, into the gray boxes. So we have, I almost started writing the wrong thing. We have x squared. It's a positive 2x, so I can just write 2x. That is a minus 1, so I do need to write a negative 1. If I don't write that as a negative 1, we'll get the wrong answer. All right, our binomial is 3x plus 4, so we're going to fill in our 3x and our positive 4. Now we'll just do our multiplication to fill in all the boxes. X squared times 3x. Multiply the coefficients first, so 3 times 1 is 3. Multiply the x's. When we multiply variables, we add the exponents, so x squared times x is x to the 3rd power. All right, now we're going to multiply 2x times 3x. Multiply coefficients. 2 times 3 is 6. X times x is x squared. Now we're going to multiply negative 1 times 3x. Negative 1 times 3x is negative 3x. All right, bottom row, we've got an x squared times 4, 4x squared. We have a 2x times 4, 8x. And then we have a negative 1 times 4, negative 4. All right, so all of these terms that we filled in the boxes are the terms of our answer. So we have a 3x cubed. We can combine answers as we go along. So the 3x cubed, there were no other like terms, so that one stayed the same. Do we have any x squareds? Yeah, we have a 6x squared and a 4x squared. So when we add those together, you add your coefficients to get a positive 10. And the x squared does not change, because now we switched gears a bit here. We are combining like terms. This is addition and subtraction. Negative 3x plus 8x, those are like terms. That's a positive 5x, and then that constant negative 4 just comes along as minus 4. So here's the thing with the tables. If you like them, use them. It's a great way to organize your work. I personally, once I get up to multiplying with trinomials, this just feels easier to me. I can see everything I need to fill in. It organizes my work pretty nicely. So you just kind of make that decision for yourself if you like that way of doing your work. All right, moving on to part B. How is multiplying a trinomial by a binomial like multiplying a 3-digit number by a 2-digit number? So consider the products 312 times 24, and then this trinomial 3x squared plus x plus 2 times 2x plus 4. So here we have the examples kind of relating these. Here's your 312 times 24. We multiply each place on the 3-digit number by 4 ones and 2 tens, then we find the sum. So if you remember how to do multiplication, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12. We have a 0 that we fill in. Then 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2, 3 times 2 is 6, and then we add those together. So everything adds vertically. So how can you do that with polynomials? Well, here's our 3x squared plus x plus 2 times our binomial 2x plus 4. So treat it just like the one. We have a 4. Why don't we multiply it through this first trinomial? So 4 times 3x squared is where this 12x squared comes from. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 2 is 8. And then we do the same thing with the 2x, only this time, because we want to add We want the like terms to be lined up vertically. So when we do 2x times 3x squared, that's a 6x cubed. We didn't have any x cubed, so we're going to create a new column for our x cubes. 2x times x is 2x squared, right below the 12x squared. 2x times 2 is 4x, right below the 4x, and then we add. The 6x cubed, these added to give us 14x squared. We added these to get 8x, and the 8 just carries down. Oh, that felt like a lot of talking. All right, so let's find each product. I'm going to show you two ways to do this. Let's practice the way we just saw, where we're multiplying like we do longhand. Is that what we call it? I don't know what we call it. Okay, so you take your trinomial. We're going to write that one first. Negative 3x squared plus 4x minus 7. We're going to multiply that by the binomial. We'll put that one below. 2x minus 5. And now we're going to multiply these together. We're going to start with multiplying the negative 5. So the negative 5 is going to multiply to each term above. So negative 5 times negative 3x squared is negative 15, positive 15. Ooh, negative times negative. Positive 15x squared. Then negative 5 is going to get multiplied with the 4. Negative 5 times 4 is negative 20x. Negative 5 times negative 7 is positive 35. Now we're going to do the same thing with the 2x. 2x times negative 3x squared. That's going to give us an x cubed, which we don't have a column for our x cubed, so that's going to go further to the left. Negative 6x cubed. Then the 2x gets multiplied to the 4x. That gives us plus 8x squared. Then 2x times negative 7 is negative 14x. And now everything's organized to add vertically. We have a negative 6x cubed. We have a 15x squared plus 8x squared, which is 23x squared. Negative 20x minus 14x is negative 34x, and that plus 35 comes down. So again, just another way to multiply trinomials with binomials. All right, this last one I'm going to show you what this would look like with distributing. So we've got a binomial with two terms. This negative 3x squared is going to distribute and multiply to our trinomial, and then the positive 1 is going to distribute and multiply to the trinomial. So starting with the negative 3x squared. Negative 3x squared times 2x squared. Multiply your coefficients, we get negative 6. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th because we are adding exponents with multiplication. Now let's distribute to the next one. Negative 3x squared times 3x. Negative, multiply coefficients, negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. X squared times x is x to the 3rd because we are adding exponents. Negative 3x squared times negative 4, multiply your coefficients to get a positive 12. The x squared has nothing to multiply with, so it just tags along. All right, let's do the same thing with the positive 1. So 1 times 2x squared is a positive 2x squared. 1 times 3x is a positive 3x, and 1 times negative 4 is a negative 4. So, like I said, once I get a trinomial, this feels like, oh gosh, there's so many terms all in the same line. It's not organized by like terms, but if we can spot them, great, we can still get our answer. Look for the highest exponent. It's that negative 6x to the 4th that has no like terms, so that comes down. We have a negative 9x cubed that we can add. Oh, there are none of those, so that carries down minus 9x cubed. 12x squared plus 2x squared, those are like terms. Add the coefficients, so plus 14, keep the variable x squared. We've got a plus 3x, nothing to combine with, and a minus 4, nothing to combine with. And there's our answer.